S.L. Narayanan, Group CFO at Sun Group as well, joins in on the show. Mr. Narayanan, hi, morning. With skyrocketing ATF prices, fall in the currency and 3/4 of operational costs being dollar-linked, do we brace ourselves for the hardest landing this fiscal in terms of the second quarter for the aviation sector?
Yeah, that is quite right, because traditionally the second quarter, i.e. the quarter ended 30th September, has always been a lean season. There are fewer people traveling and therefore seat load factors fall off. So this particular quarter, that condition has further been aggravated by the sharp rise in dollar, as well as the increase consequentially in cost of fuel. So this is indeed going to be an extremely challenging quarter. The price rises that we put through last week is basically as a result of those implications.
Things have turned around. 20,000 for the Sensex, 5,900 for the Nifty. So after a slow start, within 20 minutes of trade, clearly the uptick has started. So this market is a strong market. 20,000 plus for the Sensex, 29 points up. Look at that V-shaped rally. We started flat, corrected, and then within 10-15 minutes of opening, buyers are clearly back. So dip buyers are clearly dominating Indian markets. Bank Nifty has turned around also. Down by about 160, 170 points. Now it is up by about 44 points. Mr. Narayanan, apologies for that detour. I just had to mark, benchmarking DCs. Now, Mr. Narayanan, in the month of August, you had cut fares by, after ATF prices touched an all-time high last week. You've also revised your fares by about 30%. Will this neutralize the impact of increasing cost?
Yeah, the costs have indeed gone up, and that's the reason why we have taken fares up. There could be some fall in demand as a result of this increase, but this increase has been inevitable. Not increasing these prices would have created far greater pain for the airlines.
So would you consider another 10 to 15% hike in fares in the month of October, November during the festive season, or that could further dampen demand for air travel?
I think the period post 1st October till about first week of January is characterized by extremely high load factors, because that is the time when a lot of foreign tourist arrivals happen in this country. A lot of NRIs come in, and then every NRI who comes in also does a lot of domestic travel. So we are not so worried about the next quarter. I think this quarter is the one which we need to be extremely watchful about.
Industry experts also believe that you are critically placed, as crucial strategic issues related to funding remains the biggest challenge. So do you expect promoters to keep pumping money?
No, there are a variety of options on fundraising. At this moment, because of the situation that's prevailing in the capital markets, it rules out any kind of public equity fundraise. And also, given the situation of the industry, I don't expect banks to also be lending to airline companies. So in view of those challenges, it is now only promoter funding which is an option. And if you look at the last 2 years, every time the airline needed some funding, the promoter group has stepped in and put in money. And in the process, the Sun Group's holding in Spicejet has moved up all the way from 38.6 to about 53.6% now. We would put in whatever money that is required to ensure that the airline continues to function efficiently.
Analysts also say, Mr. Narayanan, that restructuring operations and reviewing fleet deployment, unbundling of services will bring in incremental revenues for you guys. What steps are you taking on these fronts?
Yes, we are looking at a variety of initiatives. I think we now have introduced certain flexible seating options so that people who want to ride a little bit more in comfort can pay some extra rupees, and that also gives us some additional revenue streams. So there are various options that we are looking at constantly to improve our income streams, because this is a very, very dynamic business, and the margins are not very attractive. And therefore we need to be constantly innovating around the product to ensure that we keep our costs fully covered. And if everything fails, we have no option but to raise fares. And I think the obsession with market share has to now, make way for a little bit more commercial sense in running the P&L. Market share doesn't help us meet our payroll. So even if it means dropping a few share points, our objective will be to run a very efficient P&L so that we don't bleed.
So final question, and let's get back to your fundraising plans. Are you looking at any other route? Media reports have been abuzz that PE players, sovereign wealth funds and international airlines have shown keen interest in picking up a direct or indirect stake in your company.
No, I think given the situation in which the Indian commercial aviation business is finding itself, I don't think there are too many financial investors who are looking at investing in Indian airline companies. I think the need of the hour is to make sure that the industry is brought back on firm footing. It has to first become attractive to be able to attract foreign capital. So our objective will be to make sure that we run a very efficient airline. As I said, even if it means shrinking the airline, so be it. It is far more important today to not make losses. We need to run a far more efficient P&L, and that's the way we will run this airline going forward.